All right, good evening, and from our living room to yours, we welcome you to the first ever and maybe only, maybe last ever, who knows, the inaugural James Hart virtual recital in lieu of all of our spring performances this year. So we're so happy to have so many of you joining us this evening. And first of all, again, considering the times, we want to extend a special thank you to all essential workers out there, in particular to any of our first responders. All of you out there, parents and family members who are helping to keep society going during this time. And on a personal note, I want to just extend a huge thank you to parents. I know as we've been attempting to continue to engage with students and continue teaching them during this time, that a lot of the burden of keeping the work going at home has fallen onto parents. So thank you so much, parents, for all that you are doing to help out with your students' education during this time. We really appreciate it. So once again, it's really nice to be able to come together, even if it is virtually in kind of an odd setting here. And I'll admit that there are going to be no lights, bells, whistles, anything during this presentation. This is my first YouTube Live, and I'm still figuring this out. So, but we would ask to help kind of everybody feel a little bit more together and make this a little bit more of an interactive experience. If you are gathered with your family in a living room or some space in your home tonight, if you want to take a selfie and go ahead and tag us on social media, either through Twitter at James Hart Bands or at Mr. Johnson Band, or if you want to post it in the comments of this event, or if you just want to tag it on Facebook and tag the district or James Hart. We'd love to see pictures of families enjoying our recital tonight so that we can still come together and kind of see our whole community coming together as an audience tonight. So since this is the last time, oddly enough, that I'll be addressing all of the parents and all of our families this year, there are a couple quick things that I just wanted to discuss of kind of end of year logistics, and then also what we've been doing during distance learning, if you've been wondering here. So just a little bit on end of year logistics. And this did all come out earlier through email, but I just wanted to reiterate again. Starting next week with 8th graders' last day of school being on May 20th, we'll be beginning our equipment turn-in. So May 21st and 22nd for 8th graders, those will be your days when you come to return all of your other school-owned equipment, such as textbooks and library books to school. Please bring with you any school-owned band instruments, as well as your entire tuxedo uniform and the overlay. For 7th grade families, you are welcome to bring those on either of those days or also on May 28th, the following week. We do not need to get our tuxedo shirts back or our maroon polo shirts back. Those are yours to keep, but we are looking to get back the rest of the tuxedo uniform and the overlay. For 7th graders with school-owned instruments, we only need those back if they are jazz band instruments, marching band instruments, or if they're in need of repair. Otherwise, you're welcome to keep them so you can keep practicing over the summer. 6th grade families, for the couple of you that do have school-owned instruments, the same thing applies. Again, if your instrument is in need of repair or if it was used for jazz band, please do return that on either May 21st, 22nd, or 28th. But if it's all good to go and it was your instrument for concert band, you're welcome to keep that for the summer so you can keep practicing. So if you did misplace any uniform parts, a bow tie, a garment bag, or hopefully not, tuxedo pants, we would ask that you bring a check or payment to the Homewood PMA to cover that when you come to bring back your equipment. So that pretty much is how we'll be closing out the year here, and there will be more information coming in the coming weeks for our 6th and 7th grade families on next year's symphonic band, and for 8th grade families coming on next year's band at HF. So on to a little bit more interesting stuff. What have we been up to for the last 6 to 8 weeks here now that we've been on e-learning and distance learning? So in addition to preparing for this recital in our lessons, our 8th grade students recently completed auditions for the HF band for next year. And we should be getting audition results back in just a few short days here so we can find out what bands all of the students will be in next year. And there were a couple of different cool experiences that we had planned that we sort of got to get to, and then some of them will be postponed and some of them have been altered a little bit. So first, for our 6th grade band students, since we had our last performance in February, we actually have been working a lot this year with, we've been very blessed to have Mrs. Hofel, a published composer, as one of our directors this year. So we've kind of been treating it as a composer in residence situation. So our 6th grade students actually collaborated with Mrs. Hofel to write a brand new song called Middle School. And we were really looking forward to premiering that at our May concert, but with that postponed, we will be looking to program that again sometime in the fall whenever we're back in session so that our current 6th graders, soon to be 7th graders, we'll still get to premiere that with our composer, Mrs. Hopeful, in that collaborative experience. So for our 7th and 8th grade students in symphonic band, while we did have a number of adjudicated events canceled, one event that we had scheduled that we still got to have, and we were really happy about it, was to bring in world-renowned composer Mr. William Himes, who wrote the song Creed that we played on our concert back in March. So originally, Mr. Himes was going to be coming to James Hart, and we managed to work it out where he could come in for a Zoom session with students and talk a little bit about the composing process and answer some of their questions about the piece, which we thought was a really cool experience for our kids to get to have. So again, we will have more information for 6th and 7th grade families for the fall as we learn exactly what's going to be going on, as we get more guidance from the state. But the plan again is for any students that receive a grade of passing in concert band or symphonic band, they will be awarded with membership in next year's symphonic band, and more info on that coming soon. So the last thing that we'll be working on with our last couple of weeks of school here is a little bit more involved for students, but I think the ultimate project will be definitely worth it. Virtual ensemble videos. Now, I don't want to promise any sort of grand, elaborate virtual concert that's 2 hours long and has a lot of bells and whistles, because my technical capabilities as a band director are only so much. But if students are able to complete these recording assignments, we will do our best to put together at least one song per band that shows the students playing together in some way so that we can still have that happen. So that'll be what we have coming up for the last week and a half for 8th graders and 2.5 weeks for 6th and 7th graders, is making performance videos of songs that we are working on in band class. So tonight, how does this work and what are we doing? So students, again, have been working for about 6 weeks, some of them a little bit more, some of our 8th graders, on what you're going to hear this evening. These, again, are solos out of their band book, or for 8th graders, these are etudes that they worked on for their HF band auditions. So in just a minute here, we'll go ahead and dismiss students to go into teams. And again, families, if you're gathered with your students right now, we would welcome you to enjoy watching these videos with your students. Students, again, will ask that you watch the 2 6th grade, 2 7th grade, and 2 8th grade classmates that you signed up for. If you didn't have a chance to sign up, or you did not, or you forgot who you signed up for, just find a couple of people in each grade who maybe don't have as many views, so that everybody can have an audience tonight. Our ultimate goal is that every single student gets a lot of views of their video and gets a lot of positive feedback. So students, after you've watched each video, we ask that you please leave a positive comment, leave a compliment, leave some good words. Hey, great job. That was a great performance. Or if you're watching something and it was really amazing, you're like, man, that was so challenging. Congratulations. Great work on that. We really appreciate it. So, and parents, as well, as you're watching this at home, if you see another student and you want to say, hey, hey, type this in. Hey, Dylan's mom says this is great, or something. That'd be really cool too, I think. So, so once you've gone and watched at least 6 other videos, students, go ahead and loop back around and watch your own videos with your families. And then hopefully at that point, when you scroll down, you should see a string of compliments of people that have watched your performance that have really nice things to say about you. So students, again, since this will be the last time that I'm addressing you in kind of an official performance setting, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to teach you this year on behalf of myself and Mrs. Hopeful. And we've really enjoyed all of you giving your all and giving great efforts during this distance learning. We know this has been a challenging time for all of us and a difficult time. But I think tonight is a really great celebration of all the hard work that you've put in and how we've continued to enjoy making music together during this time. So once again, parents, students, we hope you really enjoyed the show this evening. Feel free to send us those pictures if you're watching the recital at home, so we can share those and show that we're still a part of a performance community even when we're apart. Stay safe, everyone, and have a good night. Thank you.